What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Live Game, episode 136. This is the average man's perspective on football. I'm your co-host, Marcus. Joining me on the panel tonight is Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey. We still here.
I wish I was still here. Next up is Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Thank you for joining us. And we are still them boys. I do not like my intro, for the record. I want to abolish that intro.
What? I'm sorry. What happened?
I want my old one back.
Bro, we just got basic sound effects right now.
Mark gets his.
Kind of low.
Yeah, we need to have a pre-show. Make sure all that stuff works.
I'm working on it. You lucky we got the applause. You trying to be fancy with it.
I just want back what we had, sir. I'm not asking for no more.
And last but never least is Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Good evening.
Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook at our Facebook group, The Live Game. We're also on Twitter at The Live Game 3 and on Instagram at The Official Delay of Game. So week 3 is in the books. We had a couple of upsets. Had a couple of extreme blowouts. We had some blowouts, and then we had some extreme blowouts. But overall, it was a great week in the NFL. Who's hosting that? Herman. Herman's hosting that.
Yep.
It starts off, Herman.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. We're going to go over some news stories, and then we're going to hit you with another episode of Darian's Corner, followed by Hot Topics. Then we're going to roll into the games that we picked last week, and then we'll roll into the games we're picking this week. All right. So let's get into this news topic. Mark, why don't you go ahead and start with your news topic, Mark?
I'm first.
Mark, go ahead and start with your news topic, Mark.
I am first. You're not going to know my news topic.
Mark, go ahead and start with your news topic, please.
My news topic is Jimmy Garoppolo remains in concussion protocol. The Raiders will see how the quarterback progressed through the week. Garoppolo played every offensive snap in the Raiders' Week 3 loss to the Steelers and didn't exhibit concussion symptoms until after the game, permitting the Raiders to evaluate him for a concussion and leading to him being in the protocol. He's got until Sunday to see how he does with his protocol. If not, they're gonna have to put somebody else in there. Either Brian Hoyer or Aiden O'Connell is gonna start for him. But
Brian Hoyer is still in the league. Oh my God.
Yeah. And that goes back to that discussion we had before. But
yeah.
Now
I give you him, Herb. I definitely give you him.
Did Brian Hoyer ever play in? He played for New England.
He played for New England. He played for Cleveland.
Right? Yeah. Who didn't he play for?
Right.
All right, Brian. Go ahead and hit us with your news topic.
Why are we not going in order?
Because I'm the host.
I'm switching it up.
My dad is supposed to go in order.
We are in Herman's order. All right.
Yeah.
After Monday night's win over the Buccaneers, Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts said he played through flu-like symptoms. Hurts was not listed as having an illness on various injury reports filed by the team before the game. A reporter asked the NFL whether Hurts or any other Eagles players who are under the weather should have been disclosed as having an illness. Unless the player missed practice or were limited in any way, they would not be listed on the injury report, Chief NFL spokesman Brian McCarthy stated. So, if a player has an injury, it's reported immediately whether it hinders him or not. Illness is only disclosed if a player misses practice.
It's true. That's true.
But the injury report is all for the betting line anyway. So
yeah, but that's definitely true. If they don't miss practice, they don't have to.
But the thing is, though, they can not miss practice and have an injury, but they're still going to report it. But if you're sick, they don't report it.
What is there? Only
if you don't make practice.
No, if you have an injury, let's say you have an ankle issue, but you practice the whole time, it would still be reported that you have an ankle injury.
Yeah, I think
but if you have an illness, they don't have to say anything about it.
I think you're right. All right. So I'm gonna move on to my news topic.
First of all, you think you sleep? I just seen what you typed in there.
The Miami Dolphins.
We're still 2-1 though, sir.
More
Same
points.
record as you.
Let me mute the producer.
Don't mute nothing. Don't mute nothing. I gotta mute myself.
He's doing too much. All right. The Miami Dolphins scored more points this past Sunday, 70, than 18 teams have scored all season long through 3 games. The Jets, the Giants, the Bengals, the Falcons, and the Commanders, just to name a few. Marcus, what's your news story?
The new power rankings for the top 5 for week 4 in the NFL are as follows. Number 5, the Buffalo Bills, up 1 spot from last week. Philadelphia Eagles, down 1 spot from last week. Kansas City Chiefs, down 1 spot from last week. Number 2, the 49ers, down 1 spot from last week. And no surprise, the Miami Dolphins, up 4 spots from last week. And that is your NFL top 5 going into week 4.
All right, so those are our news stories for the week. Just regular news. Nothing huge came out of the week.
Just real quick out of Marcus's story, I hate to say this, but I think that San Francisco kind of got hosed on that. I understand. I know, but still, but the Niners have been consistent the whole season. They've been scoring 30 points.
But this is for the week. Remember,
I guess, but still, I don't think just because you beat up on the Broncos that you should jump 4 spots and take the number 1 spot.
The Broncos, they put 70 points on.
They put 70 points on the NFL team.
I know, but still, I still think the Niners should be number 1. I think Miami should be number 2. That's just my personal preference.
Nah, I'm going. When you put 70 on a team,
Hey, can I say something about that real quick? Hey, they almost had a chance to break the record, right? Which was 73. I almost wish they did it. You know why? The coach got, he's a second choice for him because they really wanted Peyton and they wanted Brady in there. And remember, Vic Fangio got fired from there. They wanted to hire him back as a defense coordinator, but he got fired for the Denver. Wouldn't it have been great if they'd have set the record against the Broncos because of that?
Yeah, he just didn't want to do it, I guess. I don't know.
I kind of wish they did.
It's looking like Sean Payton should have waited 1 year until Staley got fired and then took Detroit.
Maybe Sean Payton is overrated.
I think his record is consistent.
I mean, when he was coaching the Saints,
and he didn't coach. He's not coaching the defense, okay?
He had Drew Brees.
He ain't coaching the defense, okay? The defense gave up all them points. So
Russell Wilson ain't looking that great out there.
He scored 20.
He wasn't looking great last year.
Yeah,
scored 20.
And Sean Payton ain't made it.
I'm just saying that you can't put that on Sean Payton.
I think you can put a little bit of that on Sean.
When you let that team rush or score, run or have offense of 700 some offensive yards, they ain't got nothing to do with Sean Payton.
You definitely have to look at the defense on that, but again, offense ain't looking that great either. That's all.
Yeah. That's like Alabama.
I don't know what kind of offense you wanted him to start running when they're down 3 and 4 scores in the first half. I mean, your whole game plan just kind of went out the window.
I didn't watch the whole game, so
that joint was attracting me. It was like a college game. That joint was embarrassing. Unless you had somebody on your fantasy on the Miami for your fantasy squad.
Yeah, but he was out.
Oh,
Waddle. Waddle was out. Waddle would have got in on some of that scoring.
Yeah.
And nobody had what's his name? Achun.
Nah, nobody had that dude.
No, nobody had him. No.
If you did, you were just a lucky dude. You were just very lucky.
Yeah. You probably didn't realize he was in your lineup. He was an accident in your lineup.
Or you got him in one of those fantasy daily ones where he was like a cheap running back to throw in to fill a spot, something crazy.
And I hope you didn't have Broncos defense as your starting defense.
The Broncos defense still got like 2 points.
How?
I don't know. That is the dumbest scoring. They were going on and on about that, how we need to get rid of the defense in there because somehow they still got 2 points.
All right,
they should have been in the negative. They should have took points from them.
We don't want to get too behind on the show.
Oh, yeah.
So up next, we're going to go ahead and roll the next segment of Darian's Corner. So everybody sit back, relax, breakdown.
my nephew.
What's going on, Delay Game viewers? Welcome to another edition of Darian's Corner, man. And this week I cannot lie, not rocking any Cowboys gear because we took a pretty bad loss to the Cardinals. So I just went ahead and threw on some Broadway team gear, and we got a pretty big home game this week against Spotswood. So y'all wish us luck, man. And we're not going to waste too much time getting into this video. So first thing we're going to see offensively from the Detroit Lions, we are in a 12 personnel set. So what that's going to entail is 1 running back here, 1, 2 wide receivers here, 1, 2 tight ends here, and then you have your 5 offensive linemen and your 1 quarterback, of course. So defensive personnel wise, we are going to be in a 4-2-5 nickel set, and the formation is going to be called big nickel because we have our third safety walk down in the box. So when I say third safety, getting into the whole personnel, that would be 1 corner here, 2 corners here, 1, 2, 3 safeties, 1, 2 linebackers, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 defensive linemen. All right, so getting into the concept from the offense, first thing you're going to see is a trade motion from the wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown, which is going to put the Lions into a twin set with the tight ends opposite. Concept-wise, they're going to run a play-action stretch, and the pass concept is basically called a deep levels concept. So if we can draw that out for you really quick, what you're going to see is a fake stretch action here from Jared Goff and Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to carry back over to this side of the formation to the flats for the first level of the levels concept. You're going to see this wide receiver run a 10-yard drag here for the second level of the levels concept. This tight end, Sam Laporta, is going to run a 15-yard post or deep over route, depending on what you want to call that. And this tight end here is going to run a 2-yard OTB, which stands for over the ball. It's just going to run here and sit down. So getting into the defensive concept a little bit here, we're going to initially see the Falcons are showing 2 high man coverage. So in 2 high man coverage out of this set, you would have had this corner manned on this receiver, this corner manned on this receiver. This safety who's walked down in the box again will be manned on this tight end. These 2 safeties will be responsible for splitting the field over the top, and these 2 linebackers here and here will be responsible for a combo coverage on this running back. Whichever way the running back goes, left or right, that linebacker will pick him up in man, and then the other one will drop into a middle hook zone to help on anything coming across. So let's get into how these 2 concepts meshed against each other. So again, we'll see the trade motion from Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to put the Lions into a twin set with the opposite tight ends. The Falcons are going to counter by walking this safety down into the box and autoing into a single high man coverage. So what that's now going to entail is man coverage here, man coverage here on this corner. The safety who walked down into the box is now responsible for this tight end. Number 20, the other safety who followed Amon-Ra St. Brown would have still had him in man coverage. You would have had this single high safety responsible for the entire width of the field. And again, you would have had these 2 linebackers combo covering the running back. Whichever one doesn't pick him up in man is going to drop middle of the field. So where the Falcons started running into some issues, we'll first see that this linebacker playing safety number 20 is going to get confused on whether or not he should follow Amon-Ra St. Brown back over, or he should stay sitting in this zone. Now again, since they're in man coverage, his responsibility would have been to track him back here into the flats. Now, showing where they got messed up on the other side of the field, this corner here would have been responsible for Sam Laporta, who again is running the 15-yard over route, which again you guys see is going to kill Atlanta because this corner did not pick up the right man. And this safety here, who again was walked down in the box, would have been responsible for this 2-yard OTB route. However, he starts to think that he's responsible to pick up the flat route from Amon-Ra St. Brown, and that is essentially what's going to kill the play. Now, on the top side, the safety was also out of position once the play got rolling because he came up to help on this deep over route here after having eyes in the backfield, seeing the play action. So you're going to see him step up a little bit before and then essentially try to speed turn and get back on this over route. But it's going to be too late to do that, as you will see in a second. So running that back from the beginning, going to get the trade motion from Amon-Ra St. Brown, end up in a twin set. Safety's going to follow him over one more time. Man, 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 and man. Now, here is where things get messed up. Because as you can see, number 20 does not follow his assignment. Amon-Ra St. Brown to the flat. This corner here fails to run with the tight end downfield, and this safety fails to commit to his assignment here. What they thought they were supposed to do was pick up this over here, and he thought he was going to pick up this route going deep with the safety being over the top. But once again, this corner should have ran back, this safety would have came up, and this safety should have kept his eyes out of the backfield as a whole, worried about this over route, which essentially allowed this route to slip right in behind his back. Right there you can see eyes in the backfield killed him. They get caught up, slips right behind him. Free safety gets caught trying to come up, and your porter slips right behind him. Now, two big things that we'll notice on this play was a lack of communication and confusion in man coverage. So I did play corner in college for 2 years, and one thing that our corners coach always stressed to us was that communication is big in man coverage. So you have to know what man has who's going to trade on what side, are we going to combo cover, things like that. So at the highest level of football, when you're not communicating who has who in man coverage, you're going to get results like this where coverage looks busted and you have a man running wide open because they failed to communicate which man was going to guard who. So thank y'all again for tuning in to Darian's Corner, man, and I will see y'all again next week.
All right. Another good breakdown. We appreciate that from Darian.
Yeah, a shout out to that tight end. I got him on my fantasy squad.
I heard he's a beast this year.
Yes, he is.
All right, so let's roll into this hot topic. So the game we spoke on a little while ago, in the Denver Broncos Miami game on Sunday, going into the fourth quarter, Broncos coach Sean Payton, down by 36 points, left his star QB Russell Wilson in the game after benching most of the Browns starters, and while Miami had benched their starters. Was this reckless/disrespectful to Russell Wilson, the Broncos' $296 million quarterback? Should Russell have been taken out of the game? Marcus, I will let you start.
I'm going to say yes. I mean, why keep him in there? You're not going to win that game, and you wind up eventually losing. I think it was about 50. So what was the point? You had taken out a lot of his starters and put the backups in there, and so what was the point? Like I said, you paying he's a $296 million quarterback, and I just think it goes to show that I don't think Sean Payton is all the way behind Russell Wilson. For him to keep him in there like that, it's reckless and disrespectful. It's like, hey, we don't trust you. Go in there and keep playing. If you get hurt, you get hurt. Next man up. And I think it was crazy they kept him in the game that long at all. I mean, you saw Tua. I mean, you saw Tua leave, and of course that makes sense because he gets hurt. Yeah. So he was gone. So what's the with a ridiculous score like that? Why stay in there and risk injury? You see what happened. We have all these injuries already in the league. A lot of people out for the season. And you really want to risk getting Russell Wilson hurt and out for the season over a game that you cannot win? There was no way you were coming back. They were too. I mean, I think the backups on Miami scored almost
two or three more touchdowns.
2 or 3 more touchdowns. So it's reckless and disrespectful, and Russell should feel some kind of way about that. And I just think it goes to show that probably Russell. I think that Sean will be there, but Russell was not. I don't think he's going to be in Denver long. Sean Payton didn't choose him; he just inherited him, and probably wants to bring his own quarterback in there. So yeah, it was reckless and disrespectful.
Mark,
He dang on right they should have took him out of there. You was jeopardizing serious risk to your $296 million quarterback. Absolutely, he should have been taken out. Pretty much by the third quarter, you knew there was no comeback. You knew there's no way they were coming back. You should have pulled him. Who is Denver's backup anyway?
No idea.
No idea.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't think, as we discussed earlier, I don't think Peyton is. I think he's going to be okay. I just don't think Peyton is the quarterback. I mean, Russell is the quarterback that Peyton really wants in there, to be honest with you. So a little bit of it could have been like, hey, look, since you're my quarterback, I'm going to show them how well you can't play and leave you in there. It could have been that case. But yeah, for the most part, he should have been out of there by the third quarter.
Brian?
I think he should have kept him in there. I think he should have let him continue playing. I think he should have tried to fix this mess that he was creating on this offense. I think Russ needs more reps, not less reps. I think he's learning a new offense. He has new players on his team. I think he needs to get in there, and it's early in the season. The more reps, the more time, the more chances that you have playing in the game, hopefully will bring dividends down the road. I don't think that I don't think it was disrespectful. I mean, again, you got to play the game. I mean, you get paid to play. I mean, you don't buy a $50 million car to just let it sit in the driveway. Man, you drive that car. You worry about accidents, sure, but you got to still drive. You didn't buy the car for it to just sit there. Injuries are part of the game. They're going to happen. They can happen on the practice field. They can happen walking to your car. You can't be playing scared. And I think that Sean Payton's more of an old school type of coach in the first place. Now, as for this, he didn't choose Russ and all this other stuff. I don't agree with that either, because Sean Payton had a choice of different jobs that he could have chose. He picked Denver. He knew what the situation was in Denver. He knew they had just signed Russell. So I think he feels like he can fix Russ, but Russ needs to work at it. So let him play.
But you talking about practice? But you talking about practice and stuff. Russ is you talking about getting reps. Russ is a over 10-year veteran,
but he's in a new system. He's in a totally new system. This is his first year in this system with Peyton.
He had all the training camp and practice and regular practice all through the year.
But he didn't play in the preseason. So a lot of these quarterbacks now are playing their preseason games now.
So I would be inclined to agree with you, Brian, if he didn't bench other starters. You don't leave your quarterback out there, but you start benching other players. And your argument is that the offense needs its work. Well, you can't work if you're not working with the people that you need to build a chemistry with. So, in my opinion, this is an ego thing. This is a I'm the coach, you're the quarterback. You need to listen to me. And it was he was more like a teaching lesson. He wanted him to know that I'm running this ship, not you. Whether it was disrespectful, yeah, it's disrespectful to a 10-year veteran quarterback who's the franchise face. Put kind of the face of the franchise, making $296 million a year. It's very disrespectful. If he had left the entire offensive starters in and nobody got benched, then I would have 100% agree with you, Brian. Yup, make them stay out there, make them work on it, and fix it. But this was just a message by Sean Payton because it's an ego thing. Sean Payton wants to be the face of the franchise. He did pick Denver, so he did pick Russ. And he thinks he can fix Russ. But that's an ego thing, too. I'm the quarterback whisperer. I'm the great offensive mind. I can do this. I can fix Russ. It's an ego thing, and that's what it was. It was an ego check. And Sean Payton was letting Russell Wilson know, I'm running this show. And that's why he left him in the game, in my opinion. All right. So let's go ahead and move into our games for the week that we picked last week. We're going to start with the Thursday nighter. The New York Giants traveled to San Francisco to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy was 25 or 37, 310 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Can't intercept somebody when they throw screens and dump balls all the time,
You can. It's just somebody. Screens have been.
Christian McCaffrey was 18 of 85, 1 touchdown. Elijah Mitchell, 11 carries for 42 yards. Leading receiver was Deebo Samuel. Boy, Deebo was putting in work. I got him on my fantasy team. So 6 receptions, 129 yards, 1 touchdown. And Kittle was right behind him, 7 catches, 90 yards. On the flip side, do we even really have to read these stats?
Oh, my goodness.
Daniel Jones was 22 of 32 for 137 yards, 1 interception, and 2 sacks. Leading rusher was Matt Breida, 4 carries for 17 whole yards and 1 touchdown.
At least he beat Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Leading receiver was Darius Slay, a whopping 3 receptions for 32 yards. And 1 was 17 yards. That was 17-yard catch. Good grief. Yeah, this game, we talk about the Thursday night games. We say it's bad football. Thursday night is cursed, it seems like right now. It's either bad football or an injury. It's just ugly football. I picked the 49ers, and I'd have been stupid if I had picked the Giants. That's all I got to say about the game. Marcus, who'd you pick?
I mean, of course I picked the 49ers. They pretty much dominated the whole game. It wasn't much of a game. And, if anybody picked the Giants, they must have been betting
stupid.
But it must have been a very, good, a high-paying bet if they actually won. But, yeah, there's no way. I picked the 49ers.
Yeah. Brian, who'd you have?
Yeah, I was with you guys. I was with the Niners on this one. But, I mean, the Giants was in it for, I think a quarter.
Yeah, that's about it.
They were kind of in there. But like you said, Herman, man, the Niners, they put up 441 yards of offense on 78 plays, held time of possession for 39 minutes. And like Herman said, the Giants, they had 150 yards of offense. And then they were 3 for 12 on third down. So that says it all. I picked the Niners. I picked that one right.
And Mark, round this one out for me, please.
I'm with you guys. I took the 49ers. I think the biggest challenge that Shanahan had was finding touches for all the superstars. Daniel Jones had no chance against this defense. The Giants didn't have Saquon Barkley, and they struggled with consistency on offense. The Niners, I mean, they, like you said, they made it a competitive game with the second quarter, but after that, it was all she wrote. The Niners ran away with this. I took the Niners.
And did you notice too, Mark, that what's his name? Daniel Jones, he didn't even try to make any runs.
No, he
really didn't hit.
But I guess, I mean, normally they have some good design runs for Daniel Jones, and it just seemed like they didn't have any in the game plan for this one. But you might be right, Herman. Maybe they want to get him hurt too.
Right, yeah. All right, so we're gonna move on to our next game, and someone needs to put a hat on.
Who, me? Me?
The other way.
Yeah, you.
I picked
me.
Hold on. I picked the. I was the only one to pick the. I was the only one to pick the Saints.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. So
yes,
the New Orleans.
Hey, BS, you picked them.
You picked them.
BS on yourself. You bad. Spin that thing, baby. Spin it.
Yes, sir.
Wee.
Let's hear some wah, 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 wah. Okay, so the New Orleans Saints traveled into Green Bay to take on the Green Bay Packers. Packers pulled this one out and came from behind, won this one 18-17. The Packers scored all their points in the fourth quarter. That is crazy. Jordan Love, 22 for 44, 259 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jordan Love was also the leading rusher, 9 carries for 39 yards and a touchdown. A.J. Dillon, 11 carries, 33 yards. They're hurting. Their run game is hurting right now without Aaron
Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's showing. They had a total of 95 yards rushing, and that, like I said, Jordan Love, he was the leading rusher with 39 yards. Romeo Doubs was the leading receiver, 5 receptions for 73 yards, and Jaden Reed, 3 receptions for 63 yards. On the flip side, Derek Carr was 13 for 18, 103 yards, 1 touchdown. He was sacked 3 times, and he did have to leave the game with a shoulder injury. Jameis Winston, 10 for 16, 101 yards, and 1 sack. Leading receiver, leading rusher, Kendre Miller, 9 carries for 34 yards. And Chris Olave was the leading receiver.
Who Herman?
Olave. I'm sorry.
Olave.
Olave, one of them.
You should know his name from fantasy.
I know he is, but saying his name, he had 8 receptions.
I get marked that, but not you.
Tua Tagovailoa. Let's see. 8 receptions, 104 yards. Michael Thomas, 6 receptions, 50 yards. Interesting. Olave he's looking like he's a leading receiver now.
Mm-hmm.
The Saints will be getting back Alvin Kamara this week, so maybe that'll help their run game. So, Mark, I'll let you start. Who'd you pick? Well, we know who you picked in this one, so just tell us.
Took the Packers, man. Jordan Love rallied from 17 to nothing in the fourth quarter hold. The Packers, they Love look all right, man. He looked pretty good.
Not the first 3 quarters.
They didn't have their offensive stars like Aaron Jones, Christian Watson, and David Bakhtiari. They didn't have them in the offensive line All Pro. But they pulled it out. Love, show some love. I'm gonna take the back.
Real quick, the backup left tackle, Rashid. I can't think of his last name. I should know this boy's last name, but he went to high school.
Rasheed Wallace. He's from here.
Darian went to high school. They went to high school together.
He's from here.
So shout out to Rashid holding it down for Bakhtiari until he gets back. Good job. All right, so I picked the Packers in this one. I didn't expect the Packers to struggle so much, but Jordan Love shouldn't be throwing 44 times with the run game struggling. I see why they did. Why they did fall behind as much as they did. But yeah, like Mark said, that was impressive. Coming from 17 down to win that game in overtime. And how about not even overtime? I'm sorry, in regular time. And how about the coach going for 2 when they were down? I think what was they down? They were down. They would still be down a touchdown, but he went for 2 so that if they did score the touchdown, all they had to do was kick the extra point to win.
And somebody in the chat thought that was a bad idea.
I did. I know. I was like, what the heck is he doing? Like, why is he doing that? But the analytics said it. That's what he's supposed to do. He did it, and he won.
Apparently, he has better analytics than Josh McDaniels.
Yeah. Oh God. We'll get to him. Oh, man. Brian, who'd you pick in this one?
Yeah, like you guys, I was the smart one and not wearing the crazy hat. And this game really took a turn when the Saints quarterback went down, and they had to put Winston in. The Saints allowed 4 sacks, and they had 17 penalties of 120 yards, which helps you make that comeback like they did. But once Derek Carr went down, you saw that the game had changed.
And last but not least, Marcus, play your theme music.
So I can't figure out where I went wrong. Either I've been overestimating the Saints or underestimating the Packers. And I believe I've been underestimating the Packers. They may be better than what I thought they were. Hey, I was right for 3 quarters, so hey.
Use, by the way, the hat, the good hat.
Yeah, good hat. All right. Wrap that one up. Moving on. Oh, man. So the Tennessee Titans traveled into Cleveland to take on the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns won this one 27-3. Deshaun Watson was 27 for 33, 289 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was sacked 3 times and had 1 wild, crazy backwards pass. Pierre Strong Jr., 6 carries for 27 yards. Jerome Ford, who we all probably thought was going to take over the lead back spot after Chubb went down. He only had 10 carries for 18 yards. That's not going to cut it. Leading receiver was, of course, Amari Cooper, 7 receptions, 116 yards, 1 touchdown. Donovan Peoples-Jones was behind him with 3 receptions for 49 yards, and Elijah Moore had 9 receptions for 49 yards. On the flip side, Ryan Tannehill, 13 for 25, 104 yards, and was sacked 5 times. Derrick Henry, 11 carries, 20 yards. What in the world? Okay. DeAndre Hopkins, Mr. I'm getting payback on all the teams that passed on me. 3 receptions for 48 yards. You're going to have to do a whole lot better than that, old man.
Hey, Herb, how many fantasy points was that for Henry?
In our league, 2. 2, I think. Yeah, because he didn't catch nothing. Yeah, that might have been like 2, I guess.
2.
So I'll start this one off. You know, I had more faith that the Browns were going to stink than I did the Titans were going to be good, and that didn't pay off for me because I did pick the Titans, and I got this wrong. I will give Deshaun Watson a little bit of credit. He looked much better than he had the first 2 weeks, even though he had the rookie stupid backwards pass that he'd been in the league way too long to be doing stuff like that. Okay, I can't I can't not talk about that, but he did look a lot better in this game. And then on the flip side, Tannehill, I'm gonna say he just wasn't protected. 5 sacks, he got beat up, but
they wouldn't run. And they couldn't run the ball.
And they couldn't run the ball. I mean, he only threw 25 times and he only completed 13. That was just terrible. But yeah, I picked the Titans and got this one wrong. Brian, who'd you have?
Man, I was with you, Herman. The last show I predicted I would not bet on the Browns again, and they let me have it. Like Herman said, Watson's rating was 123.4 on Sunday. The Browns defense only allowed 94 total yards on 45 plays. 94 total yards of offense in 4 quarters is ridiculous.
That was worse than the Giants. That was worse than the Giants.
Yeah, so now I will not be rooting for the Titans. I will not pick the Titans the rest of the season. And hopefully they don't play each other again. But I got this one
wrong. Mark?
Yeah, I chose the Titans also. Tannehill was under pressure all game long, them 5 sacks. Deshaun Watson had his best game as a Cleveland Brown so far. They had actually 7 different ball carriers carry the ball for him. The running game wasn't that great. But one thing, man, it was you see that bad call on a potential touchdown for Amari Cooper. The ref was sitting right there, and he ruled him out of bounds. You can still see the grass in between his foot.
Bro, he wasn't even
no
that
way
close.
That man should have been called out of bounds.
He wasn't even that close.
He should not have been called out of bounds. But, the Brownies won it. I took the Titans. I lost this one.
Marcus?
This is also a case of me underestimating, overestimating. Definitely overestimating the Titans and apparently underestimating the Browns. We keep talking about coaches on hot seats, and nobody ever mentions Mike Vrabel. It might be starting time of talking because it's been a couple of years now since they've been on this downward spiral. But I'm like Brian, I can't be betting on the Titans anymore.
All right, let's move right along. We're going to get into this game. You know what? The Pittsburgh Steelers traveled into Vegas to take on the Vegas Raiders. Jimmy Garoppolo, 28 for 44, 324 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 4 sacks, 45.2 QBR, and a 72.5 passer rating. Josh Jacobs was the leading receiver.
Oh man, what you doing?
What you doing, Holly?
Listen to Herman. Y'all being nose.
Let me know you got. I want to screenshot that. Do it again.
You want to see me with glasses on?
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs, he got a little bit of his run game going. 17 carries for 62 yards.
Did you get it? I'm sorry, Herman. Go ahead. Marcus got us doing stuff.
Lead receiver was Devontae Adams, 13 receptions, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jacoby Myers, 7 receptions for 85 yards. On the flip side, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Kenny Pickens, 16 for 28.
Herman is Kenny
sorry.
Littlehand Pickett.
Kenny Littlehands Pickens. Pickett. I'm sorry, Pickett. Yeah, Pickett. Kenny Littlehands Pickett, 16 for 28, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was sacked 1 time, QBR of 70.8, and a passer rating of 108.5. Najee Harris, he did a little bit better. Got the run game going some, 19 carries for 65 yards. Leading receiver, of course, George Pickens, 4 receptions, 75 yards. I'll start this one off because I'm not talking about Josh McDaniels. He is the worst coach in the NFL. I told y'all he was going to run the Raiders into the ground, and he is committed to doing it. The stuff that I saw from Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm like, y'all got rid of David Carr for this? I picked the Steelers, which was, with their offensive coordinator, there wasn't no telling what was going to happen. But I picked the Steelers, and I got it right. Marcus, who'd you have?
I also picked the Steelers. Like I said, I have no faith in the Raiders right now. It's funny, up until this game, Jimmy Garoppolo was on the small list of players who had the highest winning percentage in the NFL, along with Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and a couple of others, and I think Lamar Jackson. He is no longer on that list.
Oh yeah, he's on the down spiral for that list.
He is so. And you heard what Devontae Adams said.
Yeah,
he's like, hey, basically he was like, I'm not here for long.
Yeah.
Basically, I was cold for somebody who can get me. That's what that was.
Yeah, he's like he ain't used to this type of losing and stuff.
He only went there really because of Carr.
Yeah,
and then they shipped Carr out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I picked the Steelers, and I was right.
So let's go to the 2 bottom losers then. Brian, who'd you pick?
I don't know what I was thinking. I thought the Raiders could actually run the ball against the Steelers. And as bad as the Steelers had played last week against Cleveland, I just didn't have any faith in them. But I was wrong. The Raiders are a much worse team than the Steelers. It was bad. It was bad. It was boring. I think I fell asleep. 3 interceptions is pretty much why they lost. The Steelers ran the ball for 105 yards on 31 carries. So they finally found Pittsburgh ball again. And like Herman said, they let the Raiders get let their quarterback get sacked 4 times. So pick this one wrong. I don't know who I would pick again because I still don't have much faith in the Steelers either. But I picked this wrong.
I ain't never picking Josh McDaniels again.
And Mark, you should take your background down. You picked against your own team.
Yeah. So Mark, go ahead and wrap this up on.
You picked against your own team. So
I took the Raiders because I didn't have enough confidence that my team can go into Las Vegas and win. I didn't, but I'm happy they won it. They ran the ball enough to stretch the field, which was fine. But man, McDaniels, that conservative call he made to kick the ball on the short field inside the Steelers' territory was just nuts to me. When you look at it early in the game, he goes for it on 4th and 1 and scores a touchdown, 32-yard touchdown. It's like, can you explain what was he thinking? What was he thinking? All he had to do was
he's just helping Herman's case.
You're right. It was a dumb call.
Yeah.
And then the Raiders didn't get the ball back, and the time ran out for them. So it was.
Anybody else that catches the ball on the Raiders besides Devontae Adams? I mean, do they have any other players anymore?
They don't have anybody else to trust.
When he's catching that many balls and that much yardage, does anybody else need to catch the ball?
Yeah, true.
You just got to find a way to win a game.
Yeah. Where's that? In this last white guy.
Renfro. Yeah, Renfro. Yeah. They're not using him.
Yeah, and I forgot who the tight end is.
They barely use him.
And they got rid of
Waller.
They got rid of Waller. I forgot who the tight end is this year.
Yeah. But like I said, I took the Raiders, and I'm happy my team won.
All right. Moving on to the first Monday night game, we had the Philadelphia Eagles traveling into Tampa to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Field, 15 for 25, 146 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 2 sacks, 34.5 QBR. Sorry, let me give you a little half point, and a rating of 73.1. Leading rusher was
White.
Yeah, I don't know how you say that first name.
He's got an Eagles. Oh, that must be his
Oh,
brother.
that was okay. I was
That's
about
his
to
brother.
say.
Yeah.
Really, you happy with that performance? All right. 14 white 14 carries, 38 yards. Leading receiver for the Bucks was Mike Evans, 5 receptions, 60 yards, and 1 touchdown. On the flip side, Jalen Hurts was 23 for 37, 277 yards, 1 touchdown. He was a turnover machine with 2 interceptions, was sacked 1 time with a QBR of 62.5 and a 71.6 passer rating. And he claims he had the flu, so he wasn't feeling good. His tummy hurty.
That was his Jordan. That was his Jordan game, Herman.
Right. Oh, that was a Jordan game. DeAndre Swift, 16 carries, 130 yards, no touchdowns, and leading receiver AJ Brown, 9 receptions, 131 yards, no touchdowns. I guess
you know about that, Herman, right?
crying on the sideline.
Yeah, crying about getting catches.
Everybody throw me the
They won't
ball.
throw me the ball. We don't feel.
So I'll let you start this one, Brian. Who'd you pick in this game?
Yeah, I picked the Eagles like we all picked the Eagles, and man, you kind of got to give it to him, man. 472 yards on 78 plays. That's pretty much going to ensure Eagles victory. And then on the flip side, 174 yards on 44 plays. Nice going, Baker Field.
Yeah. Everybody didn't pick the Eagles, actually. We split on this.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Who picked the?
Well, I'll go next. I picked the Bucks. I gave the Bucks way too much. Way too much credit. I thought Bakerfield would have a better game. I knew that Jalen Hurts was good for at least 2 turnovers. I was right about that. He's like I say, he's turned into a turnover machine. But the Bucks just couldn't capitalize on it. Their offense was stale, stagnant. They just couldn't do much. The defense held up pretty well, as much as they could, considering they held this supposedly high-flying Eagles offense to 25 points. But when your own offense doesn't score, you're not going to win these games. So yeah, I did pick the Bucks, and I was wrong. Marcus, you can go ahead and go next since you're a little Eagles lover.
I'm an Eagles lover. I'm just stating facts.
Because you're an Eagles lover.
I'm not an Eagles lover. I'm just stating facts. Of course, I picked the Eagles. I don't know why anybody would pick Bakerfield against the Eagles with their defense. And despite those 2 turnovers, Jalen Hurts put in a great performance. One of those wasn't his fault. Miscommunication with the wide receiver.
That's his fault. That's his fault.
He threw the football, didn't he?
That's what practice is for.
No, tip ball.
No,
quarterback's fault.
No, Herman. No, Herman. It's a different standard. It's a different standard.
Yeah, I forgot.
They always got excuses.
That's right.
Every quarterback's got excuses.
Excuses.
At least he didn't throw it in the end zone.
He did actually throw one in the end zone.
Yeah,
yes, he did.
At least he didn't throw 4. Yeah. At least he didn't throw 4.
Hey, everybody has a bad day.
Some people have terrible days.
We can talk about that.
Yeah, somebody had 3 as a quarterback rating.
When you let Mr. No
the whole game.
When you let Mr. No eyebrows beat your butt. Okay.
3?
Yeah.
Mr.
3.
Mr. No
3.
eyebrows. Mr. No
That's
eyebrows.
okay. That's okay. I don't even know your quarterback can see because his helmet was turned around backwards half the game.
You got beat by a dude with no eyebrows. So.
Hey, that's okay. You got smashed by a defense and you got your young rookie quarterback killed.
Mark, who'd you pick?
He's not a rookie.
That makes it worse.
Mark.
Yeah. Mark picked the.
Mark.
I took the Bucks in this one also.
Hey man, the Matrix is real, man. Mark's in.
It's like he was on pause or something.
Hey man, you sure that's Mark?
That's
Sorry,
me. I took the Bucks. The Eagles defense took practically anything that the Bucks was doing on his defense. They stayed in 2 and long, 3rd and long. This was a good game only if he was an Eagles fan, man. I took the Bucks.
Right,
hey Herman, did you notice Jalen Hurts though? He back a pass. He looks for the number 1 receiver. If he ain't there, time to run.
He don't read defenses. He has one.
Not at all. Oh, you're not open? Time to run.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the Monday night game, we had the Los Angeles Rams traveling into Cincinnati to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. This looked like a a high-scoring baseball game score. Joe Burrow was 26 of 49, 259 yards. He had no touchdowns, 1 interception. He was sacked twice. He had a QBR of 25.2 and a passer rating of 59.8. Joe Mixon, 19 carries for 65 yards and 1 touchdown. And Jamar Chase, 12 catches, 141 yards. On the flip side, Matthew Stafford was 18 of 33, 269 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 6 times with a QBR of 24.5 and a passer rating of 66.4. Kyren Williams was the leading leading ball carrier, 10 carries for 38 yards. And Puka Nakua had 5 receptions for 72 yards. He was the leading rusher.
Marcus, make me bigger.
Leading receiver.
Make me cover up the whole bottom.
All right. So we'll get into this one real quick. Marcus.
Yeah, I'm about to say because Mark ain't here.
Yeah. Marcus, who'd you pick?
Yeah, I picked the Bengals. The Bengals pulled it out, but it wasn't a pretty victory. The Bengals look off. They don't really look good at all.
Yeah.
I see what those stats say about Burrow, but it really didn't look like that. It's just they need to hurry and get it together. They're lucky to get out of here 1-2 and not 0-3. So it was a victory, but wasn't a good one at all. But I picked the Bengals and I was right.
Yeah, I picked the Bengals in this one also. I think the Bengals offensive line is regressing, and we know Joe Burrow's hurt, and that was a calf I think he has, or yeah, that calf being hurt it's messing with him. Like, he's killing me in fantasy right now. I'm not even starting him anymore at this point. I got my backups in, but I picked the Bengals more off the lines of I didn't believe in the Rams. I just felt like the Bengals at home would be able to pull that one off, and they did. So I did pick the Bengals, and I got that right. Brian, who'd you have?
Yeah, I picked the Rams. I didn't feel confident in Burrow playing that week, and it still was a question mark if it was worth this win. But the Rams, I mean, you can't be 1 for 11 on third down and expect to win an NFL game. And then, like Herman said, throwing the 2 INTs just puts icing on the cake. But I had the Rams. I had this one wrong. The question still remains, though. Burrow said he played because he couldn't, stand the team going 0-3. But your calf's not getting better. You're not letting it rest. So, I mean, when are you gonna, be out for 3 to 4 weeks? That's the question.
Yeah, he's not helping the team that much,
Yeah. Who's their backup?
I don't know.
But he basically saying that we can't win unless I'm playing. It's basically what he said.
I mean, he ain't lying. He's not lying.
I don't know. We might need to see.
Yeah.
Because they wasn't winning the first 2 with him. So, Mark, who'd you pick in this one?
I took the Rams in this one, man. I was surprised Joe Burrows played in this game, to be honest with you. He took a chance in playing in this one. They rolled the dice with it. I was surprised. He didn't look like the same old Joe Burrows. He couldn't run the ball. Basically, there was no big plays from this Bengals offense for me. But this was terrible.
All right. So that wraps up last week's games. How'd y'all do? I did
terrible.
Pretty good. I was 4-2.
I was 4-2.
Terrible.
What was I?
2-4.
2. No. Yeah, geez, 2-4. God.
All right. We're going to move into our games this week that we're picking, starting with the Thursday nighter. You got the 2-1 Lions traveling into Lambeau to take on the 2-1 Packers. The Lions are a 1.5 favorite.
1.5. Just say 1.5.
1.5 favorite. I'll start this one off. Packers are coming off a resilient win at home against the Saints, and I think they're going to keep it rolling. I'm going with the Packers because the Lions are kind of turning into the Lions. Give me the Packers. Mark, who you got?
They playing in Green Bay. I'm
Yeah.
taking the Packers in this one. I think Love is going to show some more love. He'll take over.
Marcus.
I'm gonna go with the Lions. I'm on the Lions bandwagon this year. I think the Lions are a good team. I may kind of regret this next week. I've been underestimating the Packers, but keep going there.
Bro.
Yeah, Marcus, the predictor's with you. He got the Lions winning at 54%, but I disagree. I'm with Herman and Marcus. I'm going to go with the Packers.
You mean Mark.
I mean Mark. Mark and
All right, moving into
hey,
the next.
show him that hat you're going to wear again next week, Marcus.
Isn't right?
Wrong hat. No, that's the wrong hat. That's the wrong hat. You
All
can throw that hat away. You'll never wear that hat.
Moving into a Sunday game, we have the 2-1 Commanders going into Philadelphia to take on the 3-0 Eagles in the division game. The Eagles are favored by 8 points. Mark, who you got in this one?
I'm taking the Eagles in this one.
Simple
Okay.
and sweet.
Yep, I'm with you, Mark. I don't like the Eagles, but Commanders are sorry. So I'm taking the Eagles. Brian, who you got in this one?
Yeah, the predictors with you guys. 77% to win. I wanted to play around and pick the Commanders because they beat them last year in a surprise, but I just don't see it. Not that whooping they got. Hal got. Yeah, so give me the Eagles.
And Marcus, who you got, Marcus?
Y'all work my last damn. I'm tired of doing this show. I think I might.
You wanted to pick this game.
I don't remember the game.
We agreed to this last week.
I'm picking the Eagles.
No, stop it.
If Mark can pick the Raiders, I can pick the doggone Eagles.
Marcus, I was really gonna be proud of you, man. You said in how we trust.
We do.
No, that was Heineke. I'm sorry. That was Heineke. I'm sorry.
All right, moving on to the next game. We got the 1-2 Patriots traveling into Dallas to take on the 2-1 Cowboys. Cowboys are favored by 7. Marcus, who you got in this one?
Well, you know I'm definitely taking the Patriots.
Of course, you're a hater. Mark,
Zeke gonna eat. Zeke gonna eat.
Yeah, he gonna eat. He gonna eat all right.
He been eating already. You ain't seen him? He been eating.
Mark,
As much as I don't want to take this team, I'm taking the Patriots in this one. I'm with you, Marcus.
You are, because you're a hater too. Well, we know I'm picking the Cowboys because they will bounce back from that loss last week. The Patriots will not come into AT&T Stadium and get the victory. And I'm not a hater. I will be posting this week.
So, Brian, he gonna be wearing a cap because you taking the Patriots. Go ahead.
Well, the Cowboys had the predictors bet at 69%. Like Herman said, Vegas got them at 7%. I am extremely nervous about our offensive line. Listening to the reports, I'm still not sure if our offensive line is going to be whole. The Patriots have a great defense. I think their defense is ranked 6th. But the Cowboys will find a way to win this game. I'm going with the Cowboys.
All right. Moving on to the next game, we have the 3-0 high-scoring Dolphins taking on traveling into Buffalo to take on the 2-1 Bills. The Bills are actually 2.5-point favorite in this, which is disrespectful to the Dolphins.
It's a home game.
I don't care. It's disrespectful.
And they're not the Broncos.
Disrespectful.
Did you see how good that Bills defense was last week? Who did they play?
Josh Allen's going to turn the ball over probably 3 times in this game. I guarantee it.
I don't know. Miami isn't known for their defense.
They don't have to. Josh Allen throws the ball to the defense. Okay. Mark, who you got in this one? What?
None.
Mark, who you got in this one?
You can throw the records out the window in this particular game, man. They playing in the Bill.
They're playing
I'm taking
Buffalo.
the Dolphins. I'm taking the Dolphins.
Marcus, who you got?
Yeah, this is a tough one, but I'm gonna have to take the Dolphins. It won't be they're not putting up all them points in the Bills like that, but I think the Dolphins will win.
Brian.
The predictor has the Dolphins by 51%, the Bills 49%. So it's very close, but home games, I think the Dolphins are riding a little too high. I'm gonna take the Bills.
Well, it's what is it? First week of not even the first week of October yet. It's still September.
Yeah.
They're
So
playing
it's just
in
fall.
they're
No,
playing
it
in
isn't.
Buffalo.
It's not cold.
It will be October on Sunday, won't it?
Yeah, it will be
Yeah,
October.
it will
Sunday.
be. It will be
Yeah.
October. You're
Yeah,
right.
it'll be October. But it's not gonna be cold, I don't think.
Right. First day in October, no snow, no cold weather, no elements. Give me the Dolphins.
Ooh.
Brian is give him his theme sound.
Show him the hat you can be wearing, bro. Show him the hat.
Oh, okay. I was wondering why we're picking this game, but now I get it.
You can't even see it.
2-1 Chiefs traveling into New York to take on the 1-2 Jets on Sunday Night Football.
So we know when they playing this game what they were thinking, but
Yeah,
obviously not.
that's obviously not happening.
Yeah, it was going to be phenomenal or epic, but
So we could do like we did last week for the 49 Giants games.
Yeah, we all know who everybody's picking. Brian, you want to give us the stats?
the predictor has 74%,
Jeez.
almost as high as the Eagles, but the Eagles had the highest one at 77.
All right, and our Monday night game, we got the 2-1 Seahawks traveling into New York to take on the 1-2 Giants. The Giants are favored by 1.5 points in this game. That is disrespectful to the
No,
Seahawks.
remember Seahawks have to travel over or whatever, and it's a night game, and it's a home game for the Giants.
Oh,
Well, who you got then, Brian? Who you got?
Oh, I got the Seahawks. So does the predictor, 57%. But yeah, I got the Seahawks.
Marcus, who you got in this one?
Oh, you know I got the Seahawks.
The Giants.
Is that a new team? The Giants Seahawks.
Mark, who you got?
The Seahawks.
Man, I wish I knew if Barkley was playing.
You think that's gonna matter?
Honestly, I think it would.
I mean, the Seahawks ain't been no world beaters.
They're not exactly. They're not no juggernauts. But
Hey,
I'm
but
not.
they ain't
Sticking,
as bad as the Giants.
I'm not sticking my neck out there on this one. I'll go down with y'all. Give me the Seahawks.
You know, Herbert, don't put your neck out for the Giants.
Right. Oh man. All right. So those are the games. They're in the books. Just to recap: Marcus Lone Wolf on the Packers, Brian Lone Wolf on the Dolphins. We split on the
No,
Cowboys.
I lone wolf on the Bills.
Well, I'm sorry, he Lone Wolf picking the Bills.
Yeah.
Yep. We split on the Cowboys Patriots game. We know who the haters are that pick the Patriots. And we were all on the same accord with the Eagles and Commanders game, the Chiefs and Jets game, and the Seahawks and Giants game. All right. So we got time, I guess, for a quick last final thought of the week. Mark, you want to go first?
Yes, I will. To the NFL, would you please go back to one single game on Monday night?
Ain't
I
that
can't.
true?
I can't deal with these two dual games on Monday night. You got to give me one. Only one game. We have games all day Sunday, different games playing. We have one Monday night game to play. Please give me one Monday night game. Just one.
So 2 games on a Monday night confuses you.
I don't
but
like it.
8 games on a Sunday afternoon doesn't.
I don't
Got it.
like
Got
it.
it.
Give
Got
me
it.
back my one game on Monday night. That's all I ask.
All
Come
right,
on, man.
Get
He's
off my
right on
lawn,
that.
Grandpa. Huh?
Monday night is that Monday night and Sunday night are the games where nobody else is supposed to. There's nothing else on but them.
Right.
No, but y'all didn't complain. Y'all didn't complain when they were playing 2 Monday night games, but one was late as hell.
But they only did it
didn't
one
like
time though.
I didn't like it,
And
Brian.
yeah, I hardly ever watched that second game.
I didn't either. I didn't watch that game either. But
One game, Monday night.
so now y'all, what if they have 2 games at 9 o'clock in London time? Is that okay?
No.
No.
2
Hey,
games
real
Sunday
quick, though.
morning.
One game.
Speaking of that, are you gonna watch the?
Yeah.
Do y'all have ESPN Plus? Are you gonna watch the Toy Story, the game in the Toy Story mode?
No.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
The London game, they're gonna have the game. It's gonna be like Toy Story playing the game in Andy's room. I don't know how they're gonna do it, so I gotta check that out. So
Hey, what happened to Peyton and Eli? Do they still do
They
that?
come back this Monday.
Okay.
yeah, well,
Okay.
they was doing 2 games, so it was all screwed up. That's the thing.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Thank
That's
you.
why they did. That's why.
Brian, you have a final thought?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely with you, Mark, on the whole stop the Monday night thing. And I just want to reiterate one more time that Josh McDaniels is a terrible head coach. Should never gotten the job with the Raiders. And they're trying to get Caleb Williams. Maybe that's their plan.
Well, they got to beat out the Bears for that. Speaking of which,
I think they can. I think they can beat the Bears out for that. With Josh McDaniels at the helm, shit, that dude is a monster. All right, Marcus, go ahead and wrap it up, please.
Speaking of, my final thought is Herman just reminded me is, and this has nothing to do with the game on Sunday, but we need to stop calling the Cardinals the worst team in the league and give it to who it belongs to. It's the Bears.
Is it the Bears though?
Yes.
I think the Raiders. I think the Raiders might be right there with them.
You know who it's not? The Texans. The Texans are playing.
Nobody even talked about the Texans beating the Jaguars like that.
Yes, the Texans are playing, and they're playing hard.
Guess who they play next?
The Steelers?
Yeah.
They play the Steelers.
Oh, wow.
That might be a good game. But anyway, before we get out of here, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. I got distracted. What was I say next? Hold on. I got it. Oh, you can catch us on Facebook and our Facebook group, Delay of Game. We're also on Twitter at the official Delay of Game, and on Instagram. No, I'm sorry, backwards. We're on Twitter at Delay of Game 3, and on Instagram at the official Delay of Game. We will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace. We out.